This is Slasher at the end of the NASL Season 4 Finals, and I'm here with Day9 to talk about the weekend and Heroes Championship to end out 2012. Day, Hero beats Violet, coming down from 0-2 to win 4 straight games to win the final event of the year. What are your thoughts?
Well, it actually reminds me of the legendary run that Noni did to defeat Mondragon in one of the earlier Team Liquid Star Leagues, dropping 0-2 and then just plowing right on through. And it's actually kind of cool that in every single game, it was the same unique hero that does stuff that everyone tries to copy and loses with like 100% of the time. Even doing the classic Immortal Sentry all-in in the last game, but still using the Warp Prism to do constant Stalker harass, never letting Violet get the repositioning edge, and really made... Honestly, I thought Violet was going to destroy that push, but Hero just waited and waited and waited and waited until he was at, what, 150 supply? I mean, every single game was something really odd that shouldn't work by usual norms, but it did work, and that's why I'm so happy.
When Violet was up 2-0, we even talked to Hero after the game. He thought that he was done after that happened. Were you thinking the same thing?
I wasn't as concerned because Game 1 was just a straight-up nice game. It was just well executed by Violet. So that happens. Game 2 was the one build that you just do on Ohana, so Violet has to be preparing a way to answer that. So when Violet won, that was one of those, okay, I mean, everyone sort of agreed that it's going to be an Immortal Sentry all-in on Ohana no matter what series it is, at what point in the tournament. So given that it's a best-of-7, being down 0-2 in the first 2 is not that bad. If he went down 0-3, I'd be like, yep, he's done. All right, let's get the champagne out. Let's make plans for a 6:30 dinner because we can leave. Because I'm callous and a jerk. I don't do that. I would have sobbed. I would have sobbed to tears. Because everyone's always like, oh, it's like Zerg vs. Zerg finals. And whenever any race other than Zerg wins, you get to... Even though it's just been like 1 month of Zerg vs. Zergs, it's still fun to be like, yeah, fight the imbalance, yeah. Yeah.
Hero used a lot of Warp Prism, seemingly in every single game. Was that a surprise to you, or you thought that was pretty much what he was going to do?
That was not a surprise to me because Hero is the man. Seriously, if you watch his other games, it's non-stop Warp Prism usage, especially with the Storm drops. He's been Zerg Storm dropping like crazy since 2003.
Yeah, since you, pretty much, 2003.
That's when I was born.
So we've had the ZVZ finals the past month or so,
yeah.
But it is good to see a non-Zerg win, right?
That is true specifically for this tournament. When it was, that's helping. That's really good. When it was at BWC, and all the Zerg losses were kind of one of those. I don't really care what race specifically wins, just as long as it doesn't. Just as long as it doesn't sound like a bone saw going away at a cat. I want you to imagine the cat. Like, imagine a grumpy cat with this noise right now, Slasher. I hope it's picking up on the mic, because otherwise I'm just quietly talking to myself. But that's fine.
But you're used to doing that.
We call that the Day9 daily. So, yeah, it was not...
I don't know, what are you shaking your head at? Nothing's happening, Sean, right now.
His vacuum cleaner is going to town, man. It's like Hungry Hungry Hippos, the one-player game on stage right now. And this guy's winning. It's amazing. I don't care what race is winning, as long as they're winning in an interesting way. That's what really makes the game develop, because the last 3 weeks or so has been a huge shift in all the matchups across the board. Before that, there was the three and a half month period where it was only Infestor for Zerg winning with just that, and there you go. But now we're starting to see weird surgences of the Hydralisk play, of really big mid games. Lenok and his Nidus Worms. We're seeing Teja with his crazy aggression and Pult in the mid game against Zerg and Protoss. We're seeing Protoss players doing really weird, ultra fast triple Nexus builds against Zerg and Terran. It's just so cool to see now Hero winning with very fast Storm after opening up one base in PvZ. So it's just all showing how much more potential there is in Wings of Liberty. But now Heart of the Swarm's coming out, and that's going to be way, way cooler. There's so much going on there.
Yeah, I've talked to a lot of the players and casters here about Heart of the Swarm, and everyone seemingly is unanimous that this is a big step forward for StarCraft 2 and the future of the game. Do you think the same? What do you think about Heart of the Swarm and what that will do for the metagame?
I mean, that's some Ehon vacuum timing right there, man. this is like the World Cup a few years back with the vuvuzelas, where it's like, Sean, what do you think? It's like, well, in my opinion, and everyone's like, oh yeah, yeah, let them get all that confetti, get it off the stage. Yeah, he's ripping up. Oh, he's encountered a face, but he's gonna keep vacuuming. Do you hear that, Slasher? I really hope it's getting picked up in the mic.
Yeah, because I mean, it's so easy for people to think in terms of this shouldn't be this hard in a game. Like, this build order, blah, is giving me an issue. This unit's giving me an issue. This matchup is giving me an issue. But the game designer's job is actually to make the game hard and to make it inconvenient. Like, I want to take golf. Golf is the greatest example of this. You're trying to knock a ball into the hole. The easiest way to do that is to pick the ball up and to put it into the hole. But instead they give you this long, awkward thing, and they make you walk 400 yards away and whack at it with terrain and wind that's completely unpredictable. That's a really inconvenient set of constraints, and yet it creates this interesting gameplay. So with the Blizzard, when people are like, just make the infestor weaker because people are building it and winning with it, that's not Blizzard's job. Their job is to create obstacles and create problems, and then give you a lot of ways to solve it and create that style. And that's the thing that I think is most cool about watching Heart of the Swarm on streams and even here in the show matches. It creates the ability for people to express themselves with really unique styles. Like White Raw has always been a fan of air, but could never really make it work in Wings of Liberty. And now there he is going only air against Zerg, and yet still throwing in the usual Protoss core mechanics of warp and aggression, killing off bases. So I just think it's going to be like the perfect rebalancer for the game.
So this is the final event of 2012 for you and for me. I think for a lot of people in esports that have been covering this year. It's been a long year for StarCraft 2. 2011 kind of was a big year pushing it forward, and 2012 it only made it even further. What are your thoughts on 2012 as a whole for StarCraft 2, and what do you think 2013 will bring us?
I would say that 2012 was awesome in a lot of ways. The only real issue is oversaturation. There's too much stuff. I mean, in just November, it was MLG Lone Star Clash, Battle.net World Championship, DreamHack and IEM Singapore on the same weekend, and then IPL 5.
And then here.
Well, this is just November. This is just November. Just in 1 month were all those 5 on each weekend. And then in between that, you had NASL regular season play running, GSL regular season play running, GSTL running, a whole bunch of other online tournaments, a whole bunch of one-shot tournaments going on. There's just too much, and it's almost draining. So I'm really excited to hear about leagues cooperating to make sure there's no conflicts, having fewer middle-sized events, so that way we can have a couple really huge, gigantic style tournaments next year. So I'm hoping the oversaturation backs up a bit.
Well, thank you, Dave, for the interview.
I nailed it.
I hope your arm is doing all right. I saw you take that spill at the very end there.
Didn't have to bring that up, Slasher. You're such a jerk. I stood strong, and when I danced, all the ladies were like, ooh, he's so multi-talented.
I know, they told me too.
I know. Thank you for watching. This has been an interview with me at GameSpot.